Russia's either in big trouble or everything is going to plan. The region of Luhansk was recently artillery fired, a school was hit, nobody was killed. However, this region is not new to combat and getting attacked. In fact, this is where all the Russian separatists are, and this is where all the conflict has been happening since 2014. But the reason why this is such a big deal now is because all of the troops on the Russian border are in between those Russian separatists. So you have the Russians on one side, Ukraine on the other, the Russian separatists in the middle, almost as a buffer. But when Russia is claiming they have nothing to do with any of this, even though they're backed by the Russians, who do you blame? Now, luckily, NATO, United States, they have been predicting something like this may happen. It's called a false flag, meaning maybe the Russian separatists will try to instigate an attack. Ukraine might accidentally fire into Russian troops, and then that would mean a whole war would be instigated because Russia is allowed to defend themselves. So, what is actually happening? Is this going to plan? I do not believe Russia is willing to risk it all over Ukraine. Otherwise, Russia will have already invaded by now. The time has passed for the proper amount of time for Russia to invade. Russia is already surrounded on all sides. They've made their point, but is it worth losing all of your economic status? Is it worth losing thousands of troops in a very bloody battle where the United States has said they will engage? NATO will engage Russian troops. Not only that, Russia is massive. They sent all these troops onto one portion of Russia. What about the rest of Russia? It's almost like, what, you think we don't have jets and drones that could just flank you on every side ever? So that's why I think right now Russia, either they wanted this to happen or they're like, okay, they did put out a statement saying we have nothing to do with this immediately. And I think that says something. That's very important for Russia to say this is not them, because if it is, this could be an instigator for some sort of an attack. But if Russia has nothing to do with this, they might be in some trouble, and this attack that the separatists did, this might actually force the Russians to back up a little bit, because everything looks a little fishy when you got hundreds of thousands of troops on one side of your border and all of a sudden an attack happens. It's called a false flag once again. The United States did it too. They did it in Afghanistan against the Russians. The United States was funding the Mujahideen against the Russians. So, this is nothing new in military tactics. However, everything is lining up to where something can be instigated if diplomacy is not done. Otherwise, a war might be imminent if something doesn't get done about it. Take care.